What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, you guys may remember about 2 weeks ago, there seemed to be competing reports about what Marvel Studios may or may not do with bringing Jonathan Majors back to complete the Kang storyline. First, we got an exclusive from Screen Geek that said exactly that they were considering bringing him back because Kevin Feige was interested in perhaps wrapping up the Kang storyline and down the road. Then immediately the next day, and from TMZ, there was a competing report that said Marvel Studios was not interested in bringing Jonathan Majors back at all. And as I remarked, it's not often that happens, and neither of those sources are really mainstream as it comes to Marvel scoops, and especially as of late. But there is one source that is, the guy who nailed that Robert Downey Jr. was coming back as Dr. Doom, and 2 months early last year. That same industry insider source had something to say about them finishing Kang's storyline, and it was something else he added that has these rumors persisting that he may be casted for an upcoming role in one of the 2 Avengers films. We're going to break down this latest scoop of sorts, where it came from, how it's building the rumor that Kang is going to be returning in the near future, and my own thoughts about the context of this and what Marvel Studios should look to do if bringing Jonathan Majors Kang back. We're breaking it all down, but first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content at the channel. That's all we do. If you're into that kind of thing, hit the sub button, leave a comment down below. That automatically enters you to win our ongoing PS5 giveaways. In fact, we've got another one coming tomorrow. All you got to do is be a sub, leave a comment if you want, stick around at the end of the video. We get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so depending on which corners of the internet you've been in the last day or two, you've probably seen headlines like this one yesterday: Marvel to wrap up Kang's storyline, Dr. Doom rumored to kill him in Avengers Doomsday. Now, these are all based on what came from industry insider Jeff Snyder. He has his own editorial in the Insider. He's been the guy who's been talking about a lot of X-Men casting rumors as of late. He's also the guy who nailed Robert Downey Jr. coming back as Dr. Doom, and this is what he had to say in a recent scoop of sorts. Quote, "I'm told that Marvel has a plan to say goodbye to Kang and wrap him up. I think they want to give him the boot to put to bed any doubt. They're going to deal with the Kang. Maybe in one of the Avengers movies. I've heard Dr. Doom could be one of the ones who kills him. If that's the case and Kang is back, there's an actor they've convinced to say yes, and I've heard it'll be Tremel Tillman from Severance." Now, firstly, if you're keeping tally here, that's 2 in the column for they want to bring Kang back, that's 1 in the column for not, and the one that's in the column for not comes from TMZ. I'll let you take that as you will. Also, Jeff's track record speaks for itself over the last year or so. Still, I do not believe this is the way they would want it to go down, and hear me out. The way it was reported by Screen Geek, this is something that Kevin Feige is considering, and right now, considering, while they're about to start filming on Avengers Doomsday and desperately trying to finish the script. That's why reportedly it's been delayed 2 weeks. I doubt that the contemplation that he's having for Avengers Doomsday is whether or not they're going to involve Kang in that storyline. Maybe that's a decision that they've already made, but again, the way the exclusive was reported, it's something he's considering right now. And if you listen to what Jeff Snyder specifically says in that scoop, it sort of sounds the same way. Which means to me, to wrap up Kang's storyline would be something down the road and after Avengers Secret Wars. Also keep in mind that the exclusive indicated it was Jonathan Majors they were looking to bring back, and according now to Jeff Snyder, it would be a completely different actor altogether. And I honestly think that makes all the difference. If they are just going to bring someone back to simply kill them off, A, to establish the power level of Dr. Doom, but B, also, as he says, to put it to rest, they would have to use a new actor, because you imagine, from Jonathan Majors' standpoint, he's not coming back immediately to be killed off. That's not the sort of redemption or the wrapping up of the storyline that I sort of got from this scoop in the first place. That would just be like, look, Marvel doesn't want people talking about it anymore, and if we show him die on screen, people will stop. But will they? You've already shown infinite versions in the Council of Kang. I'm not really sure that puts it to rest. Plus, they just recast Robert Downey Jr. Dr. Doom. They want to keep the attention on that, and if they are going to have Kang be a part of that storyline, you wouldn't want to introduce Jonathan Majors back into the fold just to open up that conversation and all over again. And look, there are going to be those who are going to have that conversation anyway, now that it'll be a whole new villain right as we're hitting the Avengers film. But from Jonathan Majors' standpoint, and even though he said he would come back as Kang the Conqueror and loved that role, it wouldn't be like this. And so, yes, maybe they'll cast another actor right off the bat and decide to kill him maybe in the first act to establish again Dr. Doom, but I don't think any of that's necessary. And when we hear the scoop about them wanting to sort of finish the Kang storyline, you would assume that that would be a lot more built out in an actual finishing arc instead of just a quick cameo where he dies in about 2 minutes in a sequence with Dr. Doom. Now look, here's the real truth. I don't fault anybody for clinging to they should bring Jonathan Majors back as Kang the Conqueror in the future of the MCU, and I wholeheartedly agree at some point they should give him a second chance. Plus, he was great in that role, and because it is Kang the Conqueror, he could show up in the future and it would sort of make sense. There's infinite hymns. But I think the fandom and YouTubers alike, I'll put myself in this category, when we're making our infinite theories and talking about the insides and outs of Marvel Studios, I think there is a tendency sometimes to look too deep or make things more complicated than they actually are. And from Marvel Studios' standpoint, the easiest thing to do right now as it pertains to Kang the Conqueror is absolutely nothing. No recast, no bringing Jonathan Majors back, no Kang in Doomsday or Avengers Secret Wars, just leave him exactly the way he is, finished at the end of Loki Season 2. And if there were odds on this kind of thing and you could bet, that's where all my money would go. I do not think they are going to acknowledge his character whatsoever. Look, Kevin Feige already said they know they can't put 100,000 characters in each movie. He was jokingly meaning there are way more characters at Marvel's disposal than will probably get a chance to even have dialogue in one of these two films, let alone play a meaningful role. And so in that respect, they've already got more than enough characters they need to focus on. I cannot imagine them going out of their way to double back to grab Kang and then carving out any sort of scene for him at all. And I know there's a lot of people in this community who really want him to come back. I get it, but it just from a logical standpoint does not make sense at all for them to do this. And so look, even though this comes from industry insider Jeff Snyder, he has been shooting out a ton of scoops as of late, and it's hard to tell, even though he's had an accurate track record last year, how many of these are going to actually stick. Just let me know all your thoughts though down below if you agree with me that there's probably no logical chance of them doing this, and which characters do you think are the most important for them to focus on Doomsday, obviously other than Dr. Doom. I'm all ears as always. Quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. All right, we are still giving away PlayStation 5s at the channel. In fact, we've got another one tomorrow for what I believe is the finale of A Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. If you want to be entered to win, or for any of the other future giveaways here at the channel, all the same rules will always apply. Hit the subscribe button because you need to be a subscriber. Hit the subscribe button because you need to be a subscriber, then leave a comment down below, and because it's truly random, the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will always be announced live at the end of videos with my voice and the winning comment shown on screen. The best way to keep up with the content has always been to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on, and as always, if you liked today's video, I'd really appreciate it if you'd hit the like button. My name's Michael Roman. You can find me in a couple of places, Instagram and Twitter at I'mFires. You can also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, iTunes, under the name All Fires. And I have some other YouTube channels for comic shorts that I'm going to be starting on the side here just to do more content, and when those come out, we'll be running giveaways, and I will let you guys know here shortly if you're interested in other comic content other than just specifically MCU, because there's a lot of stuff I want to talk about I can't necessarily post at this channel, and I actually don't know why I've waited this long to do it. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.